in management or personnel. It's limited on that end. And also because we're doing a portfolio, we're betting on compressing the cap rate and exiting at 9%. Total development cost is about $90 million. More or less is $100 million total the development. Per hotel, we're looking at $9 million. That includes all the asset management fees that we're going to charge Antoine for not being here. And he told us 50, but you know the extra work, we're going to ask him for $54 million. We're going to co-invest with him 5%, whatever he puts on it. So we show some skin on the game, and he feels comfortable to give us the money that he just inherited. We're going to use project financing. We're very conservative in terms of project financing, especially in the hospitality market. We're just going to go 50% LTV. The loan terms is at 6 years, and it's a 6% interest rate, and that's what we were able to get. We're contemplating a 14 months construction period and a holding of 6 years. It's a 5-year with that 6-year exit. Our unlevered IRR is 12.4% net of fees, and levered IRR, even though he told us 20%, we consider that 18.5% is a good return net of fees. However, at the project fees, we're looking at a 22% IRR, and the multiple is 1.84. Cash on cash returns, he will see some money yearly. So it started at 2.51 and it goes up to 15.12 at the year 5. We're looking at a disposition of 12 million is the EBITDA at the end of time of exit, and an exit cap rate of 9%. I have to say that 9% is according to market, according to John Lance LaSalle. Where is she? She left?
She's taking it out.
John Lance LaSalle and the investment service sentiment of 2014. Cap rates in Mexico are anywhere between 9 and 10% in this particular asset class. So, and what is being traded in this particular sector is between 8% and 10% yearly. Net disposition is 125. We feel that comfortable that we're worth 2% management fees. So I'm gonna leave Marisela.
Okay, we met with several people. We met with several people. We gathered a lot of information, and being Mexico, the second largest economy in Latin America, with a population of over 125 million people. 79% we found that of the population is urban, and the median age is 27.3. These people are moving around, and they need to travel, and we started shaping what we wanted to do from the information we were gathering. We met with people from Mexico, the Vice Consul of Mexico in Miami, and they gave us tons of information about this research. We also, part of the research we gathered, it's about the new companies that are manufacturers that are moving to Mexico, and they're creating because of the labor, etc. Mexico is, as you know, is a part of the NAFTA, which comprises over 50 countries in the world for the free trade agreements, and so the growing industries, manufacturing and Costco, Walmart are getting big in Mexico. So, okay, as I said, we started gathering information on the demographics, the population, and we said what target we're going to have. Are we going to go for hotels? Now, what class hotels are we going to end up with? What's our a level of hotels? And we from all the information that we gathered, as you see, that 70% of the population joined in the middle class between 2000 and 2010. So 5-star hotel, we said, okay, out of the questions, let's go a step down, and we started, throwing out what our alternatives were. A lot of professionals entering the job market in Mexico, traveling from one place to another. Next. These are industries growing in Mexico that we gather information from. For instance, Mexico is the leader exporter of appliances for Latin America, and a lot of trades with US and Canada also. Okay. We found that the domestic tourism in Mexico has grown because of this, and when we began to analyze this, we foresaw opportunities in two sectors: the low-income or low-fare travel airlines and hotels. So we decided for hotels, of course. The domestic tourism, as you see how it's grown in the past years, we have a growth of 60.8 million domestic travelers within Mexico. We're just targeting the local market, okay, in Mexico. We're not thinking of that Mexico is one of the top tourism spots in the world. We're just targeting the local market because of all the growing of the industries that we spoke about. And on top of that, we also have 23.7 million international travelers. Okay, we found the hospitality industry value has a projection to reach over $34 billion with a 6% annual growth. We have a 6% total annual growth and an ADR projected of increase from 2012 to 2013 of 121. And a projected one for 2018 of 143. We have a RevPAR of approximately $77 for 2013, and it goes up to 81 on 2018.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the trends in the hospitality sector in Mexico. Trends in the hospitality sector in Mexico have a positive outlook. There is continued growth in the strength of the middle class. 62% of total tourism, it comes from the domestic travel, as Maricela was pointing out. And middle class purchasing power has increased significantly throughout the years. There is increased travel expenses and increased length of stay for domestic travelers. And there's the differentiation that we're setting out for is quality in our properties, level of service, and rates and location. In Mexico, there's not a lot of brand recognition, so there's actually, I think it's 33% of Mexican hotels are branded. So we're actually, our strategy is to brand our hotel, so people, when they stay in our hotels, feel, as Dustin's group was saying, they know what they're looking for. So the investment opportunities to develop 10 service hotels throughout Mexico's industrial and economic corridors. We plan to stabilize the portfolio in 24 to 36 months. We plan to generate high profitability due to our limited service offerings. And once our stabilization is achieved, we plan to dispose of the entire portfolio at a compressed cap rate. So we targeted 18 potential markets. We identified 18 potential markets in Mexico. These markets exhibit a significant economic growth. For example, Guadalajara, one of our targets, has companies such as Kodak, Philip Morris, Haynes, IBM, Honda, and like I said, only 33% of hotels in the city are branded, and only about half of those are international brands. This presents a significant opportunity for us in this economy. So as I was pointing out, Guadalajara, you can see HP, Honda, and then the other cities, Ford, Mexico City has Ford, Volvo, Bridgestone. It's an economy that's continuously growing. It's piggybacking on the United States growth, and we feel that this is a pretty safe investment to get ourselves into.
I'm going to go through the operating highlights. We're looking at starting an ADR of $71. The occupancy, we're very conservative. We're modeling on a 48% to start. We think that it's within the standards of the industry and what we've seen in the market. RevPAR 34, the GOP, it's a very healthy margins because it's about 50%. As you can see, here is the GOP and here is the NOI. The GOP is the gross operating profits. This is the NOI percentage, which is 44% of the income. We're looking here at 70% is about is construction costs, hard costs, and 30% is soft costs. The cost to build the hotel is $70 per key. In the hotel business, you don't value or you don't buy something per square meters or per square foot or as a difference in retail or office, you buy it by the key. So one metric that you will use is if it costs you $70 per key or per room, you look into your, what is your ADR? And it should be 70,000 related to 71. So you cannot be higher than your ADR per key. And that's a major difference how you evaluate an hotel, like the golden rule. If your hotel is 150 ADR, you cannot pay more than 150 per key, $150,000 per key. Wait.
Sorry.
Okay. We said that the occupancy will be stabilized at 60%, which is the year 4 operation. There's a significant potential upside value. We're being very conservative in underwriting process, just because it's a challenging market. And something that I should have pointed out at the beginning is that we are, our plan is to partner locally, and risk mitigation is very important, with one of the most well-recognized construction companies. So we don't have a problem with the construction company, and it's also with that 2% of the management fee. That's not an income for us. That is to pay for operations. So we're planning to hire a portfolio manager and asset manager locally that will complement what we're doing. So we have boots on the ground while we're conducting all these investments and to oversee the investment. This is just to tell you a little bit of what we were discussing before. The cash-on-cash return, it goes from 2% to 15.12. The peak of the equity is at 22, as I was saying before. We're looking at a 9% cap and with a return of 18.5%. And we're going to distribute the cash flows as I explained before at the beginning. Tier 1 is 100%, we're going to return the capital. Tier 2, we're going to give him the preferred return that we said. Then we're going to catch up with him, and then we're going to split 80-20, and that's the European waterfall. Of course, you need always your American Express. When you're going to invest in something, you need an exit strategy, and the exit strategy is as important as your entry strategy is your numbers. The paper can hold, multiple things, but you always need your American Express is your exit. What we're looking at in Mexico in particular is that there's a lot of interest from high net worth individuals, family offices, but most recently the newly created REITs, local REITs, they have a lot of dry powder to invest in real estate. There's 3 particular REITs. One is called Fibra Inn, another Fibra Hotels, that solely invest in hospitality. And the vocation of a REIT is to buy operating assets, not to develop or to reposition, but to buy cash flows. So we feel that there will be great buyers that are local. We don't have to chase local outside buyers. However, we will look through the entire sale process and see what we will be up to in 5 years from now. Yeah.
Questions? Comments? I'm sorry.
I got one question.
No, come on, yeah.
Disposition fee,
Yeah.
what is that associated with in this particular situation? So I noticed it showed up in year 6.
Well, you have to, when you sell, you will have a fee. Like whether you pay it to a broker or you pay it to ourselves, you will have cost to dispose the asset. Attorney's fees,
Third party.
third-party fees.
fees.
Because this is one, we're gonna do the sale and we're gonna get the fee.
Treat him well.
Gotcha.
You guys have, I think it was a 6% term on the loan. I mean, a 6-year term on the loan. Now, if you guys are selling after 7, what happens if you maybe cannot refinance
Well,
that loan?
We model a 25 onward with a 6% term.
6 years?
Not with a six amortization.
Okay.
Mhm.
But still, the whole term's 7 years.
Yeah,
So if
that's
that's
what the
six- you have
local
a
banks will give you a
6-year
6%, at 6%.
6 year, I was talking about that because it said it was
Not
6
the
years.
term, not the interest rate.
Yeah, the term. The local banks to get you a 6%, leverage is expensive in other countries, especially in Latin America.
Well, we're not talking about the interest rate, we're talking about the loan term. 6 years, not 6%.
Yeah, 6 years,
So the whole term is for 7 years.
yes,
So Robert's question is, you have a loan call at the 6th year.
yes, correct.
What are you gonna do when your whole term's for 1 more year with that?
If we're gonna refinance, if that's the case, with the same bank, there's a covenant that will allow us to refinance, but what we show in the bank is that our exit is in the year 6.
Okay.
The bank that we had the conversation, when we met with the consul of Mexico, he says that Banamex, which is the country's bank, will loan under those terms in Mexico if it's on the tourism side. And that's what he told us.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we were just trying to keep it apples to apples.
Yeah.
The whole-
I got another question.
Yeah.
Which is so intrigued. After you guys pay Antoine back, and you mentioned you're gonna do an 80-20 split, is the 80 gonna be in your favor, or?
No.
We wish, no.
It's money.
For Antoine?
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Who's in?
Can't never narrow that gap any?
Is that the young kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was in our
What's
budget.
your
True story?
I bail out.
I heard the name before, but I was just like,
I thought it was a myth. What does this belong?
You don't even take care of it. Robert missed the entire presentation. Antoine,
He only works
specific, he had no
6%.
idea. what
6
was
years.
I don't pitch Antoine's face.
The Pro Export was very helpful because basically they're the government agency that promotes investments and trade in the country.
Especially tourism.
And they gave us tons of information and off-the-shelf information. And they have it by sector, like tourism. If you want to understand about tourism, they have like, okay, here,
They give a whole bunch of
yeah.
it's great.
food pack.
So, maybe I missed this, but on the financial highlights, it said it's a 8.5% IRR. But Antoine
18.
gets his, or I'm sorry, 18.5. But, you know, the hurdle being 20%, was that covered?
Well, it was net of
No.
all the fees.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
not only are you looking for an equity request, but you're also going to be incurring additional side fees, not cash flow, I guess, even though it all rolls up to you anyways. Maybe that's.
We're
for-
living in part in Mexico though, we're not taking it all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe it's staying in a different country, maybe,
Cayman Islands?
yeah, it's not.
The guy runs to
It's being,
Venezuela, so.
yeah, went to Venezuela, not gonna be back.
Laredo, Texas?
Yeah, but, yeah, so net of fees, you're 22, okay?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 22.65.
Yeah.
So you want to get a little bit of,
Of course, he will come back and try to negotiate with us.
right,
Not good enough.
While he's taking the classes over.
just want to tax your fees differently, I guess.
Yeah, right.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nairobi.
What's that?
Nairobi.